Good afternoon, everyone. This is Wendy Pollock with Pollock Properties, powered by Keller Williams Experience. And my email video guest today is Andy Herrero with State Farm. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's my pleasure.
I really appreciate it. So Andy and I actually have a really long-standing relationship within our B&I group, and that's how I met Andy. And so one of the things, Andy actually did a presentation that really, I thought I really understood insurance, and then when you really had me thinking about things, so I thought this would be great to kind of get together to talk about that. So everyone knows you need insurance. That would be silly to try to educate people on that point.
Exactly. Yeah. So the most common insurance that people think of is their home and auto insurance, because it's what you see on TV, it's the advertisements, and also when you're buying a home, if you have a mortgage, you have to have it.
Right, absolutely.
And it can be a really busy time when people are buying a home, they're looking for movers and contractors and securing a mortgage, that sometimes the homeowners gets a little rushed. And so one of the things that we recommend to people, even if it ideally before closing, but after closing, taking some time and going back through your policy to make sure there aren't any gaps. Because there are things that aren't covered in homeowners policies, and you may want to make sure that you don't have any of those risks. And that's where a local agent can really help you and guide you on what coverage you need.
Can you give us a little snippet on what those gaps look like what to look out for, especially for that homeowners? Because you're right, it's more of a to-do list. That home buying process is so overwhelming. It really is it's a box to check off for many, unfortunately.
Yeah, it can be.
Right.
So, some of the things you want to find out about is, all homeowners policies aren't created equal. So one of the key things you want to look for is the policy a replacement cost policy, meaning they'll pay the full cost to repair or replace, or is it actual cash value where they start depreciating it? Because it can actually make a significant difference once you get that claim check on how much it's for.
Yeah, absolutely. And now one of the things that struck me when you did your presentation was the 7 risks.
Yes.
And so if you could go over the 7 risks, and I'm going to be honest with you, in my own mind, as you were saying them, I was putting them in order of importance, because that was kind of the point of it, and my order was not your order. So I think I was like, okay. So if you could talk a bit about that.
Sure. So basically every human faces 7 risks. The first one, and probably the most common, and you hear about it in the news, is health. So having health insurance, if you do need that major surgery, medical costs be $100,000, $1 million sometimes for these surgeries. So having that insurance to keep you healthy, because there's nothing more important than your life and your health. The next 2 really kind of coincide, and that's protecting your income. Because the truth is, when it comes to your home, the chance of it being totally destroyed, like burning down in a fire, is about 1 in 3,000, right? But the chance of you becoming disabled for more than 90 days in your working career is 25%. So
wow, that's a staggering statistic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's actually quite significant. So making sure you have the proper disability insurance and also life insurance in case you don't make it home, so that your family can stay in that home. Because you're way more likely to lose your home to a foreclosure from your inability to pay the mortgage than you are from your home being destroyed. And
so you're even putting that coverage above your homeowner's insurance, or in a pecking order type of standard.
I would, because even if you didn't have your home, but you still had your family and the source of income, you would get by.
Absolutely.
You really would.
You would. You'd find a way.
But if you had no money and you lose your home and your income stream, it's way more catastrophic to a family.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So so I'd say those are 1, 2, 3. Another one is kind of what we call longevity risk, and that's making sure you have enough money to retire, but also having a plan for living to age 100, not outliving your money.
My goal is 105.
Oh, good for you. I'd sign a contract for 90 today. So making sure that you continually put money toward retirement, right? So that you can actually retire one day, because one day we all like to think, we're not going to retire, but physically we have no other option but to. Then it would be your home and auto insurance, making sure those assets are properly protected. Yeah, see, that's where my dispute. I would have put those way higher, to be honest with you. And I think it's just what you're kind of programmed. Yeah, and so the easiest analogy I could say is the fable with the goose that laid the golden eggs. Would you insure the goose, or would you insure the eggs? So we want to focus on the goose. So that's really kind of how we look at it from an insurance portfolio place. So you got your auto and home, and then really last would maybe be an umbrella, which is more of you're protecting yourself from lawsuit.
kind of a catch-all.
Exactly, yeah.
Correct.
It sits above the home and auto to protect your assets from if you cause an accident or a lawsuit or something of that nature.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things, and we talk about this, you don't know myself anything and you don't owe Andy anything, but you owe it to yourself and to your family to really make sure that you're protected and that the insurance that you know you need is in place. So when something happens. Can you answer me this question? If I haven't looked at I'm going to be honest, we've lived in our home for the last 11 years. So you know what I mean? That, you get the insurance and then it kind of goes to the wayside. What does that look like time frame? When should you really be reviewing your policy?
So here at our agency, we like to meet with our clients every 18 months to 2 years, just even as a check-in. And honestly, out of the thousands of appointments I've done with that, we always change something and we've always tweaked something. Because all our lives are constantly changing. Maybe some new jewelry we have to make sure is insured, or increasing or lowering deductibles, whatever that looks like.
Life changes.
Exactly. And so to make sure that as your life has changed, your insurance should change with it to make sure you stay adequately.
So like we said, you owe it to your family. If you haven't looked into your life insurance, not even life insurance, just insurance as an umbrella, as a whole.
Yes.
Make sure. Like I said, I highly recommend Andy Herrero with State Farm would be an amazing resource to reach out to. He's located in downtown Downers Grove. And we'll make sure that all of his contact info is below.
I'm always willing to help anyone.
So any questions, they can call, even if it's just a question.
Even if it's just a question, I'm more than happy to answer those questions.
Awesome, great. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Wendy.
Take care. When life changes, think of Pollock Properties.